I was super scared, but my cousin was very pushy, and I agreed. My grandparents from Dad's side were dead at this point, which means the house was empty. No risk, right? The closer we got to the house, the more scared we got. You have to know that Greek summer nights are very warm, up to 25 degrees at least, but this place where the house was standing was ice cold. I had goosebumps all over my body. Everything within me screamed to leave, but I didn't want to look weak in front of my cousin. She seemed weird, a bit scared, but she kept going after I asked if we should leave. But to my surprise, the stone marker in the backyard had disappeared. This thing weighed tons, and I knew we should leave immediately, but we still tried to dig up the book. Listen, I had fear my whole life, but what I felt there was something new. It felt like I was in danger. My body was frozen with fear. The things that I saw and we heard within the house made us completely freak out. Even today, when I am writing it, I can feel that threat. We lost it somehow and decided to leave finally. Our bodies got warmer the more we distanced ourselves from that building. But we weren't finished, unfortunately. I saw my cousin looking behind us, and I also felt that something was following us. At some point, we stopped in the middle of the road and started to pray. I have never prayed before because no one had shown me how. My cousin started to pray to Mother Mary, and it was the first time that I felt that the prayer was real. A warm and motherly light came over us and washed away all the fear. The first thing I did when I went home was to pray over the house of my grandparents. I asked Jesus and Archangel Michael to clean the house from evil so none of us would ever have to deal with it again. While I was okay that night, my cousin experienced some crazy shit over the night and a weird surprise in the morning, but I don't want to mention any details about that. Believe me or not, and I don't know if this had to do with my grandma or not, but I forgot about that incident. How was this even possible? I don't know. The third sign I had was when I heard an interview about a woman who grew up in a bloodline full of witches. She found later, to God, the first curse breaker in her family, so to say. There were some major similarities about circumstances, patterns that I couldn't ignore. I haven't mentioned them here, but it's about behavior and events that I will not mention here, etc. I will link the interview below the video so you can watch it. The part that gave me chills was that if a person signs a deal with the other side or a demon, the curse doesn't break with the death of that person. The person has to promise the next in line a sacrifice. Mostly it's one of their children, and after that, a grandchild. The fourth realization I had was after I had watched the interview, in which God showed me my father, and no matter how hard he worked or how good his intentions were, he could not succeed. The tragic part was also that he was the smartest in his family of origin. He could help others, but not himself. I realized a couple of years ago that I had major similarities with my dad. It's like bad luck was our best friend. I knew that I was shown the interview because I had to change something, but the only thing I found was a book about generational curses. It helped a bit, but not enough because I didn't quite understand what had to be resolved. It was like looking for a needle in a haystack. 1.5 years after that incident, I had visions that people, or witches, preyed on my downfall. You have to know that during that time, I had stopped watching those kind of movies for over 5 years. There was no reason to experience that shit. I felt that I needed help. During the height of it all, I had gained weight, my skin was a mess, and all my friendships died, which I have never had a problem with before. I always had friends. The bullying at my job and inner cycle of family hadn't stopped, and I could not get another job. And forget about love. It was wild. 1 or 2 months after my visions, I saw a video from a priest. I loved Mother Mary and prayed regularly to her in that time of my life, but I was no friend of the church in general. I was very skeptical. But I said to myself, I will try that prayer with the priest, and if I don't feel anything, then fine, I'm done with it. At least give it a try. But to my surprise, I felt the same kind of love when I first prayed to Mother Mary with my cousin. He was indeed connected to God. There was no doubt about it. You will know when the prayers are working because one indicator is haunting dreams. I even had my own sister texting me after I was finished with it, saying that she had 2 serious dreams about us. I asked her, without telling her what kind of dreams I had, and she explained the exact room where the demon in my dreams was haunting me. Her details about the medieval room shocked me completely, but she was there and protected me somehow, she claimed. I didn't see her, but believed her and confirmed afterwards how the dream happened from my perspective. Then we moved on to her dream, and it was worse. A demon came to visit her and played with her children when she entered the room. He offered to train her and the children, and mentioned that we come from a bloodline of witches. I have no words to describe what I was hearing. Also, when your relatives are in tune with their own intuition as well, they will also have some haunting experiences through dreams or physically while you're literally exorcising the bloodline. But no worries, as it is short term. Ask Yeshua or Jesus for protection during this time, even if you don't believe in him. I wish I would have done that as well. Writing it down makes me feel the heaviness of that again, but I want to give you the help that I have received. The link for the curse-breaking prayer will be linked down below. The priest offers many good prayers, and even if you don't believe, feel free to use them. To summarize that experience, I would confirm that after a period of those prayers and spiritual attacks, my mental health improved enormously. I felt alive for the first time. The colors were more vibrant, and I experienced an inner happiness that was totally new to me. It worked for the first time until I had depressive thoughts after 4 months that came out of nowhere. I practiced positive thinking and could stabilize myself over and over again until I found the last step, the key basically. It was a Christian that spoke about generational curses and how to figure out for how many generations you have to repent. During that time, I also detached from toxic family members that scrutinized my name behind my back. When I followed the guide from this very kind Christian, I was finally free. All steps were completed and I broke free. I will also attach the interview for guidance, as I believe that many of us suffer for the sins of our ancestors, and it's time to be free. So finally, we are coming back to the main topic. When I recap my cursed and unlucky life in the past, it was so natural that I was attracted to horror movies. We know that the divine works in algorithms or patterns. Everything that you are attracted to tries to help you to investigate and free yourself from those energetic bindings that are following your bloodline. So if you consider yourself an unlucky person like I was, then check your attractions or attachments to basically anything. What does it want to teach me? What healing am I missing? How can I release the binding to it?